next to a siege tank, the siege tank will get killed. So it's actually really, really good. So then Siege is saying, yeah, he's got an upgrade question, you know, so do we upgrade everything? Do we just upgrade the units we use? It's really hard to switch to Lings. A hard switch to Lings is possible if you upgrade them as well as your Roaches. You know, and he hates to not have improved Broodlings when he gets to that point, because he had to go the Roaches, and I agree. I hate to have unupgraded Broodlords. So I think upgrading all 3 is definitely the way to go, with at least 2 Evo Chambers, sometimes 3. So just do Infestor hit squads. Well, you don't need Infestor hit squads, Welshie, but definitely you're adding a few in there. You need the Infestation Pit anyway, and it really complements the Roaches. So, you know, whenever the mech's clumped up, Fungal Growth, just with your army. Always Infestors with your army. But then, yeah, sending off just individual Infestors. For Infestor Bombs, you never send more than 1, unless you're expecting your opponent to basically be shit. In which case they're going to be like, oh, what's going on? My tanks are shooting themselves. Good player will just instantly just throw a scan on his minimap. He won't even look at what's going on. He knows what's happening. So what you want to be doing basically is just sending off individual ones to throw Infestor Bombs for scouting as well as Infestor hit squads, you know, burrow into their main. Not so useful. Dropping Infestors to throw infested Terrans in their main base, that's really sick. Drop 80 infested Terrans on their production, that's really good. But definitely, well, she's having a laugh. Yeah, just individual Infestors if you're going to do that. I see people like, I'm going to throw 40 infested Terrans. Yeah, it doesn't work. You're going to lose all your Infestors, and they can just unsiege their tanks if they're smart. So it's not really that smart. Talking really fast, I don't know why. So the thing is, things like Infested hit squads are easily countered with a turret. You always take a risk of losing them when you do it, says Siege. You know, Siege is just like the wisest guy ever. Seriously, like he's such a... you guys should actually just like take almost everything he says as if it's coming from my mouth, because... or not even my mouth, someone who's a lot better at this game than me, like Day9 or someone, because Siege... He says he's gold, QQ, but you know that's mostly probably a mechanical thing. Siege is always very, very intuitive comments about the game, every single time, seriously. So thank you so much for your contributions, man. You always actually, you know, provide like 80% of the really good questions for this show. So thanks for that, bro. Alright, so just kind of glancing at my doc, that's kind of it really. This is kind of the new format I want to do, just looking at the one replay from either side. Mech's a very odd thing, so it's a bit hard for me to give as many kind of pointers for how you could do the same build. I definitely might be looking at PVT next week, because I just haven't been doing PVT. What else? I'm going to try and be more organised. Like I said, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So once again, I figured out the hotkeys, but I'm not really good at using them yet. I didn't practice it till today. So sorry for always forgetting the screen changes. I need a second monitor. I need a laptop. I really do. With a preview screen, something like that. Other than that, yeah, it's looking all good. I will be posting up the VOD. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. It was an interesting game, to say the least. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So. Just check the last few questions. So let's do rounds. He says, "Hey, he's a new viewer. Wait up. He has a question." All right, so I'd love to answer that question, man. What is better versus Marine Marauder Medivac? Infestors or Mutas? Roaches or Lings? Well, Roaches are really, really bad against kind of Medivac bio compositions. They don't really do well against that at all if it's controlled correctly. You definitely want your Banelings. I personally would just prefer Zerglings and Banelings. I think Zergling Baneling smashes bio, and that's why adding mutas as well, but not focusing on your mutas. When you're playing against players who mix in tanks and that sort of thing, I would say 100% you need to get your muta count up so you can harass them, so you can pull them out of position. But if your opponent's only getting bio, there's no late game that you're really afraid of. So you want to be overproducing Lings and Banes, and then just having enough mutas to clean up the medivacs so that they can't pick up mid-battle and that sort of thing. And just keep your mutas alive, you know, slowly build up their numbers, but focus more on your Lings and Banelings. Hut says, Infestor-based players, the counter to MMM is good Infestor usage. So that was a kind of funny way of writing that, Hut. You dyslexic like me. So yeah, man. it is a great way to use infestors as well. The problem is if they micro their medevacs properly, your infestor's never going to have enough energy to shoot them down. So you've got to be really on top of your control with either having well-placed spores or having queens that you just go focus on that medevac as soon as it comes in. So let's do rounds of saying roaches only, good versus mech. Yeah, roaches as the base is really fantastic. Why is roaches such a great base? Because they've got blue flame hellions. There's so many, I mean, there's going to be opportunities where there aren't many hellions alive, or they're not with the army, where lings are the absolute best unit, which is why it's good to keep upgrading them and keep mixing some in. But generally speaking, your roaches are going to be what's most solid, what you can use easiest. You can get the burrow movement, etc. as well. Catch their army out of position, do counterattacks, all sorts of things. So I would definitely say keep roach only as the base of your army against a mech player. Unless if you see them do something crazy, like just stop producing hellions, swap back into those lings, absolutely. Yeah, man. So thanks for watching, guys. Dancing. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like putting some music on, but I closed iTunes. Oh well. So let's do rounds saying he feels like he gets killed by a fast expand every game. Literally, he was first and died with 550 points, and he's now dropped to 200 points. Any pointers? He's talking about by toss.
If you think you're having a heart attack,
Dun, 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 dun. So that's a coaching session with TvZ. He's about 10th Grandmaster on Southeast Asia. Really good player. This is back when he was in Master League. Teaching him just basically at least one part of it. Maybe it was the second hour. I'm not sure exactly. Just look through the VOD for us practicing on Talia and Malta. And it's me coaching him how to do a fast third build against Protoss. You need to take your third very, very fast. But you need to kind of patrol lings to be safe there, to make sure there's no cannons. And Let's Do Round says, yeah, but I feel when I take the third I'm super vulnerable. That's why you need to learn a set build so that you understand exactly what's going on. But yeah, you know, if they do a 2-gate pressure as well, that can be a little bit hard to hold, but you get used to handling these sort of things. And most of the time, your Protoss opponent will be passive right up until the highest levels. Even there, 90% of the time, the Protoss will be passive off a Forge Expander or Nexus First. Jules is saying, you know, what level do you think you should be before bothering to get a Korean account? It's up to you, man. I know guys who are bronze here who've got one. I know people of all levels. Heaps of people have one. It's kind of fun, especially to see the way they do a lot of funny cheeses there, really refined micro as well, even at very low levels, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will stay in the chat. Well, she's saying it's fun when you can't read and then you pause and go to resume your chat. Da, 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 da.